Good evening, everyone. Amanda Etzel coming to you live from Litchfield, Kentucky. I would like to welcome you into my live. If you are catching this live, put live in the comments. If you're catching me on the replay, let me know that by putting replay in the comments. Let me know if you're new to my lives, how you found me. Maybe you found me on TikTok or Instagram or something like that. But just let me know so I can come back and connect with you. So this is the second day of our weekly women's ministry live. We're going to be teaching out of this book right here. It is the 100 most important Bible verses every leader must know. So we're going to be tonight talking about anger. But before we get started, I want to know what anger means to you. What does it mean to get angry? Okay? Let me know in the comments what it means to you to get angry. And we're going to get started on this lesson here talking about anger. Everyone must be quick to hear, slow to speak, and slow to anger. For man's anger does not accomplish God's righteousness. James 1:19-20. Well, hello, Shannon. Thank you for joining us. The devotional says, wise leaders understand, and the Bible promises, that patience pays and anger costs. Anger is harmful, hurtful, and hazardous to your spiritual health. But in the heat of the battle, you'll be tempted to lose your temper. Hopefully, you'll learn to resist that temptation. Whenever your thoughts are hijacked by angry emotions, you forfeit the peace and perspective that might otherwise be yours. Hello, Mama. Hello, babe. Thank y'all for coming on. And to make matters worse, angry thoughts may cause you to behave in irrational, self-destructive ways. As the old saying goes, anger is only one letter away from danger. So when I first came on, I asked the question, some of y'all may not have seen this, but if you will, comment below what does it mean to you to be angry? We're going to discuss that after a bit here, but I want to know what it means to you. 1 Peter 5:8-9 warns, stay alert. Watch out for your great enemy, the devil. He prowls around like a roaring lion looking for someone to devour. Stand firm against him and be strong in your faith. And of this you can be sure, your adversary will use an impatient and unforgiving heart and the inevitable anger that dwells within to sabotage your life and undermine your faith. To be safe, you must cleanse your heart and you must forgive. You must say yes to God, yes to mercy, yes to love, yes to patience, and no to anger. So, Shannon says, the anger is having a strong feeling towards someone. I try not to have any anger. Okay, how many of you have been angry before? If you tell me that you ain't been angry before, I'm sorry, but I'm going to call you a liar. I am definitely going to call you a liar, because everybody gets angry. So I looked it up on this tablet here to see what they said the definition of anger was. And it states it's a strong feeling of annoyance, displeasure, or hostility. So that's the definition of anger. It causes bad feeling with the person you're mad at. Yes, it does. And also anger, if you think about this, if you are not working on your mindset daily, okay, you are going to be easily to anger. And what anger causes is some negative thoughts in your head. And then, it's going to spew out of your mouth, okay? When you get angry with someone, and you've not been working on yourself and developing what we might call, I don't know what you want to call it, like a stopper, okay? Now, we all are going to get angry. We're not prone to that. Even as Christians, we're not prone to getting angry. We're going to have times where we get so upset that it's unreal, because that's the human side of us. But we need to make sure that we are finding some way to stop from spewing things out that should not be and regretting it later. So to move on, we got some quotes here that I would like to share with you all that's in the book. The first one says, anger and bitterness, whatever the cause, only end up hurting us. Turn that anger over to Christ. Billy Graham. Hot heads and cold hearts never solved anything. Billy Graham. Anger is never without a reason, but seldom a good one. So, like, if you get angry at somebody because they looked at you sideways, I know it sounds funny, but people do. They get angry when somebody looks at them the wrong way. That's not a very good reason to be angry, okay? When angry, count to 10 before you speak. If very angry, 100. Thomas Jefferson. Hence, it is not enough to deal with a temper. We must go to the source and change the inmost nature, and the angry humors will die away of themselves. Henry Drummond. 2 things a man should never be angry at is what he can help and what he cannot help. Thomas Fuller. So there's a lot of times, and I hope that I don't step on anybody's toes when I say this, okay? But I see a lot of what I would call negative Nancy's, or those that just like to complain over everything. Say, I went in here and I stumped my toe on the leg of the table and I just got upset at that. Or somebody moved my favorite pen and it made me angry, you know, or I have some candy laying on my desk and somebody just come and help themselves. That's senseless anger, you know. To me, it's senseless anger. And we need to be able to deal with how we get angry. How do you all deal with getting angry? Do you just, are you a hothead? Do you just let it go? Whatever comes out of your mouth comes out of your mouth? Or do you have a technique that you use to deal with anger? Because there's several ways that you can deal with it. And I'm just curious how you all do that. So if you could let me know in the comments. Jimmy says he just lets it spew. He's pretty straightforward, and yeah, he does. But, you know, you need to make sure that you are, as a Christian, watching what comes out of your mouth, especially if you are, you know, I know we have a few pastors on here. If you're a pastor, this cannot look good on you. If you are in any leadership type of position or just a Christian in general, we have to watch our actions and our words that we speak, because all this starts in your heart. You know, you start thinking it and it spews out of your mouth. So we're going to move on to more from God's word. But I tell you that anyone who is angry with a brother or sister will be subject to judgment. Matthew 5:22. He who is slow to wrath has great understanding, but he who is impulsive exalts folly. Proverbs 14:29. A hot-tempered man stirs up conflict, but a man slow to anger calms strife. Proverbs 15:18. But now you must also put away all of the following: anger, wrath, malice, slander, and filthy language from your mouth. Colossians 3:8. A lot of times when we, you know, we get angry, we don't think before we speak, and we just let anything come out of our mouth. Even as Christians, as sad as this is, and I hate to admit, but sometimes we find ourselves slandering other people, talking about them when we get angry. Maybe they went and told something that wasn't supposed to be told, that you didn't want told, or maybe they wasn't thinking and they just made a funny, and you know, they didn't mean to hurt your feelings, but it did hurt your feelings, and they didn't even think about it. They just let it spew out of your mouth, and that made you angry. See, Mama says I get angry, but I take a deep breath and don't say anything. Well, now, taking deep breaths are good, but not being able to say anything. We need to make sure that we are, excuse me, we need to make sure that we are expressing ourselves, but we need to express ourselves with love, even if we're angry. Shannon says, actually go and read and sing to God to make me feel better. I found that is what helps me. Listening to music does help. And when you're angry, If you will pray, write down and pray about it, that could help. Marcetta says she loves this. Thank you, ma'am. Listen to Christian music and calming down does help. So the next verse says, do not let the sun go down on your anger, and do not give the devil an opportunity. Ephesians 4:26 through 27. Now, I know, I don't think my sister's watching, but years ago, she told me this. You know, never want to go to bed angry at somebody. I'm going to take a drink. Give me just a second. So you don't want to go to bed angry with, especially your spouse, right? Because you got to sleep in the same bed as them, okay? And so what you could do is, you know, a lot of people attend therapy, okay? They do attend therapy, and it's good for everybody to do that. But if you don't want to go to therapy or you can't, you know, something that I always done that I found helpful to me was just keep a journal. And any time that I got angry or whatever, I would write in that journal, write my thoughts. And then, you know, that way it's not in my mind. I'm not spewing things out of my mouth at people. And it helps me to get everything out. There's no judgment because me and God's the only one seeing what is written in that journal. And so sometimes it just helps to make sure you get that out, because if you hold it in, you're going to explode maybe on the wrong person. So I could be upset with Mama and about something, and then I could spew it out on Jimmy, and he's sitting here like, what the heck? You know, what did I do? I didn't do nothing to you. So see, we got to be careful. So let me know how do you have like a certain technique? I know y'all told me about reading and singing to God and listen to worship music, but is there like a technique that you use? Do you journal, or do you use a stress ball, or what types of things do you use other than that stuff to help you? So there's a timely tip for leaders. Angry outbursts can be dangerous to your emotional and spiritual health, not to mention your personal and professional relationships. So treat anger as an uninvited guest and usher it away as quickly and as quietly as possible. So if you're in business and you're angry, you're angry leader, we may need to work on this, because whether it's your business or you're part of a ministry like we are, you don't want to go around with a sourpuss face on, I call it, or, you know, anger causes you to judge people. It causes you to put them down. You don't try to be encouraging at all. You're just there, you know, with a frown on your face. So you write it down and then you throw it away. That means it's done. Exactly, yes. I have done that too. I learned that in therapy years ago. That, you know, if you'll write it down and you wad it up and you throw it away, it makes you feel a lot better. So how do y'all think that Jesus dealt with anger? Do you think he was like us today? Do you think he threw himself on the floor and threw a fit, or stomped through the house and just mumbling under his breath and, you know, just whining and you know, just causing more friction than what was necessary? I just wonder what y'all think. So how do you think God dealt with anger? You write it in your notebook. That's very helpful. So how did Jesus deal with his anger, guys? Anybody know? I know we got quite a few pastors on here, so I'm sure y'all read about it. So just drop it in the comments. And if you haven't already, share this into the women's group, or Shannon, whichever one of y'all can get to that. So I looked it up on Google. Google's my best friend here. It says, Jesus channeled his anger in defense of others when it really mattered. When he saw opportunists taking advantage of the poor, he confronted them without hesitation, but he knew how to pick his battles. Once a group of men spit in Jesus' face, struck him and slapped him, and yet he did nothing to retaliate. So I don't know about you all. But I'm not gonna let somebody slap me in the face and do nothing, right? That's our human nature. But we do have to pick our battles, okay? So when you get angry, in the Bible it says you can be angry, but do not sin, okay? Do not sin. So if my sister comes over here and she, poor sissy, I'm picking on her, but if she comes over here and she gets in my face and she's yelling at me and whatnot, is it right for me to go and just backhand her or something of that nature, or even just backlash at her, say something back to her? Do you think that's the correct way to handle her? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. But human side of us, we want to lash out at other people and we want to do what they do to us, right? Payback, revenge. But just know that, when you get angry, there's ways to deal with being angry without sinning. And so that's what I have. Do any of you who are watching, is there any of you that would like to come up here on my live and add anything before we go? I know that I talk fast, and so if you have questions, you can drop them below. If you're just joining me and you don't know what's going on, we are reading for our women's ministry. We're reading out this book right here. I think you can get it at Walmart, or maybe you can order on Amazon or any of the places y'all find these books at. You can order these. And it's a really good book. It has a lot of good topics in it. So do we have anybody who wants to come up before I go ahead and let everybody go? Well, I'm not seeing anybody comment, so we're going to go ahead and end the live. But before we do, if you are not a part of our women's ministry, the link, hold on, Mama, the link will be in the description above. All you got to do is just click the link and go ahead and send the invite over, and me or one of my admins will be sure to check it out and accept you. I'm trying to get you up here, Mama. Hold on. Okay, we'll see if that works. Okay. Says it's adding you, Mama. Hopefully we get you up here.
Oh, there I am. Yeah, you was asking that question, how we would handle that. If somebody was to do something to us to make us mad, how I would handle that. Now, years ago, I would be lashing out, but now that I'm a Christian, I would just say, well, can we talk about this and let's work this out? I think that would be the best way to handle that situation. Because just lashing out at them and, that's doing nothing but giving you bad thoughts with the other person and then with you. And that's not the right way to do. Does that make sense?
You have to turn your TV on mute or something for a few minutes. But yeah, I think that the human side of us really wants to lash out at people. And in the past, I have been guilty of doing that myself. And I think it's really bad when you're dealing with siblings. It's the worst, like, because you all have attitudes somewhat, and y'all want to be at each other's throats all the time. And I know with me, my brother and sister, we're not like that per se, but we stand our ground. We do stand,
Right. You have to stand your
and
ground.
yeah, we're always standing your ground. But at the same time, we're all three of us are Christians, and so we have to be, because we're looking at each other, but we also got our spouses looking at us and other people looking at us, and so lashing out at each other wouldn't be the right thing to
No.
do.
It's
Um,
real easy to lash out, But as a Christian, you think, no, that's not the way to handle that. You know, that's not causing anything but bad feelings between the two of you. And that's not the
Exactly.
right way to handle that. Sometimes it's not easy to do that. Bite your tongue, per se, and say, look, can we just talk about this, work this out, to where we're not mad at each other, you know? So that'd be a good way
I
to
see.
handle that.
Okay, so was there anything else you wanted to share about this topic, anger?
No, I think that's all I got to say right now.
Okay. Well, I appreciate you coming up here and sharing with us. We're going to make sure that we don't hold everybody long. See if anybody else has a chance that they want to come and say something before we end the live.
Oh, you're welcome. I was glad to do it.
You enjoy the. Okay, so I see that Pastor Bubby come on. Pastor Michael, I'm sorry, I forget people don't know who I'm talking about. Communication is the key. Yes, it is. Anger is a big thing. Yeah, these days, everything, this live might anger somebody, I don't know, but everything angers somebody. I mean, I could show you this purple pen and somebody get angry about that. I mean, it's just it's a real thing. It's a real struggle. So I don't want to ramble too much. Is there anybody that wants to come up here and let their opinion on this topic be heard before we end this? I'll give it just a second for everybody to be able to answer me. So while I'm waiting, I know that on Friday, Lee Hogan is my mama, she's going to be doing her Bible study. Can't tell you what time, just whenever she pops up, there she is. So sending big hugs, Bubby. So if nobody wants to come up and share anything, I'm not going to hold you all. Hopefully you got value. If you did, please feel free to go ahead and share this with somebody that needs to hear about this, or tag them in the comments. Again, if you are not a part of our women's ministry and you want to be, make sure you click on the link above in my description, and we will make sure me or one of my admins will get you added. Most definitely, Shannon, most definitely. So without holding y'all any further, I want to thank y'all for watching. Big thank you to my ministry members for showing some support. We will be back with you next Monday, and you all have a blessed night.